go. So yeah, LeBlanc not going to be on the table for a first pick out of Reason this time. That is in fact what Giants did last game. You have to think Giants are going to ban Nah here and not let Kuban get it. As little of a factor as it was, you don't want to flip that coin again, because the analysts were saying they were wondering why they did it. We're on the mindset of they probably let it go for game number one, you know, orchestrating that level 1 play, because we know that Reason would have been expecting Frederick to spend a lot of his time in that middle lane. They swapped up their strategy again. Yeah, that are our thoughts, but we'll see what happens in game 2 and indeed the rest of the series to see if we can confirm that. So the last pick, or the last ban coming out from Reason Gaming here will be that Xerath aimed at Pepinero. Yeah, no surprise there. And okay, Nah is actually going to be left available. That was one of the things that we didn't talk about, was that Take Fun, that you pretty much have to ban his Zed. Either Nah or Zed would have been first pick for Reason if they're playing the same kind of style that everybody expects them to be. This, I guess, should be Nah as a first pick. Yeah, you would have to feel, I mean, like, on paper, that's what should happen. But we don't know. It could be absolutely anything. Nah would make sense as the first pick coming out here from Reason Gaming, but again, they're taking their time. That's the other question is, do Giants have another plan? Do they have a red side plan against Nah? Do you pick up the Lissandra that we know has done very well? Obviously, Reason stole it away last time. We're going to have to see. Yeah, but there we have it. We have the Nah coming in for Kuban, most likely going to be in the top lane. I don't think we've seen Nah in any other position. It's rolling the dice again for Giants here, and I honestly feel like this is a little risky here, because Giants are going to have to pick up 2 very strong picks here to give away a champion like Nah. Reason could very easily change away the beginning of this game, get a much better start for Kuban on Nah. And that is a tough spot for Giants, because we know how strong Kuban was, even in that game, while being behind of turning fights around. So Reason certainly have a very strong pick as their top lane right now. What is available? You have to feel like Lissandra would be a good pick against him. Yeah, of course, we do have the Thresh being open, so Giants will, of course, throw that down to the support of Rydell. That makes a lot of sense. He likes that pick. No reason not to pick that early on here. And they just have another couple seconds before we'll see the next pick, and it will be Pantheon coming in for Giants as their second pick of their game. So, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. They're going to go with exactly what they had in the last game. We saw Frederick had a lot of early game pressure, even though Pantheon had those nerfs of clearing the jungle, has to use a little bit more mana in his jungle if he wants the passive to proc quite so often, but didn't seem to affect them, and really just worked out very well for Giants. I wonder whether reason they're going to opt for that Graves Alistair bottom lane again, and whether we'll see the jungle Lulu again. We know Zayu's got more in his playbook, though. Yeah, indeed. And now you're backed up against the wall. They have to win this game. Well, they don't necessarily have to win this game, but if they don't, they have to win 3 on the bounce. So now is the time really to pull something out and make sure you can even up the series. So we'll see if they bring out something a little bit different. And if you have to feel that is the case, maybe they won't bring it as a flex pick. They'll bring it in as one of their final picks. But what we know for certain is they are looking towards their bottom lane here, and they will lock in the Graves, and indeed, they will lock in the Janna. Zayu's Lee Sin is available again this game, so that wouldn't be a surprise to me. We may see him pick up one of his other more obscure champions. We know he's been playing Kayle just like Kikis did. Graves and Janna right now is fairly difficult to deal with. When that shield's on Graves, he's going to have a lot of burst potential down in that bottom lane, and we saw Celeber get a lead, and Crappo and Deficio were talking about how greedy Giants played in that bottom lane last game. We'll see if Reason can punish them a little bit more. It's a little more difficult now. They don't have that ease of getting to Krugs. They have to go all the way up to Gromp on that red side. So we'll see whether they can shut down a little bit of that greed from Giants. But Pepinero right now has options for his mid lane. Will we see him default to the Twisted Fate that we've seen time and time again? It would work with the Pantheon that we already have locked in here. Will they go for the Jinx again and then potentially set up a Jax? There's a lot still on the table that Giants have played, or we know they do play, that is still around for this game. Oh, here we go again. Once again with the Jax pick, once again with the Jinx pick. And as you said, if it isn't broke, why not just play it again in this following game? Yep. And you have to feel like in that last game, it was all about just finding that spark, that catalyst in the early game, and it was just all systems go from there. But
up to that point, Reason Gaming were containing them pretty well.
They were, but the problem that Reason had was they were making too many mistakes and allowing this composition, which is going to push a tower exceptionally fast, to just kind of sit in front of towers. And you saw Jax always go to that other lane, make sure that if they were giving away a dragon, they were getting turrets for it. I want to see what's available for mid lane here for Pepinero on the side of Giants. He's obviously waiting for the counter pick here. We know Take Fun likes Ahri and Elise out of the jungle. Has been seen. It has good catch potential. On this current patch, it is still fairly strong, and there's a different pick.
Okay, so we just talked about the Elise. This is the second most played champion in solo queue, his first, of course, being that Lee Sin. But as you mentioned, here comes Azir now from Giants, and this is a big curveball because we know he plays Syndra, we know he plays Xerath, we know, in fact, he plays Twisted Fate. But here comes Azir.
Yeah, and I was doing research on Pepinero, and I had him down as one of the players that was going to pick Azir in this tournament. We'll take a look at the lane matchup as we head into the game, but Giants have a fair amount of AoE damage and range during a lot of their 4v4 fights. You look at the ultimate out of Pepinero, it's a lot of disruption. Pantheon is going to have AoE damage. You've got disruption that's going to come from the crowd control of Thresh, and then mix in a Jinx Rocket. That is very mobile and very difficult to deal with the amount of control they're going to have there. On the other side, Reason have a lot of pick potential as well. They've got Ahri, they've got Elise, and always the Gnar counter-engage is going to be strong.
Yeah, and if we need a case study for that, again, just look at the LCS expansion. One good Gnar ultimate, doesn't matter what you've done up until that point, that's a 5-man Gnar ultimate, your team's done.
Yes, indeedy. But we are about to load into game, and I cannot wait. It's game 2. It's, you know, this could go 1-on-1 now, and if that's the situation, then both of these teams kind of have to go back to the drawing board and see what's going to give them their advantage.
I mean, remember, this is a best of 5 here, so there's a lot, or the potential to have lots more games here, but we are now into game between these two teams. They are swapping up, of course, and now in the blue corner, you will see on your screens Reason Gaming here. And then, once again, you can see Whirly in the top lane, Frederick in the jungle, Pepinero in the middle lane, Adri and Rydell in the bottom lane duo.
Over on Reason this time, Kubon in the top lane, Zayu in the jungle, Take Fun as a mid laner, Celeber and Libic as AD carry and support.
So, once again, make sure to join us on social media using the hashtag LCS expansion at LOL eSports.
And we want to hear your thoughts on who you think is going to take this series, because we certainly are looking forward to having more games. I feel like Reason have a lot easier a time in the early game now. They aren't relying on those full team fights that they were in the previous game, and that might make Giants' game a little bit harder. Giants still need a lot of time to snowball, but one of the unknown factors in this game is going to be that Azir. And we haven't seen all that much Azir. I believe he was being played in OGN this morning and just managed to catch a couple of games. We know Bjergsen, I believe, played Azir over at San Jose. So, what is going to be the difference maker from the Emperor of the Sands?
Well, take a look at this. Counter-strike from the top side. That forces a flash from Take Fun, so that will be majorly benefiting Pepinero and Frederick in the mid lane.
That is a massive cooldown to be used this early on a champion like Ahri. Until level 6 doesn't have the high mobility, and Pepinero on Azir is going to have that range in lane. You put the soldiers up, you force Ahri away from farming. That is a very difficult lane now for Take Fun to sit in.
So you think back again to that Millennium series, and remember they burnt that flash on the opposing mid laner, and we had that ripple effect where Giants were able to capitalize on that and then just win the game little by little up until the end of the game. We might see a rinse and repeat of that series here. Yeah,
it's very reminiscent of that series, and Adri and Rydell were hanging around that lower side, or at least Rydell was. He's looking actually to invade here.
Yeah, Rydell will be coming up here trying to disrupt this bottom take, but Whirly B again is going for this camp, and Kubon, who said, you did it last game, this time I'm going to try and contest it. Whirly B taking a bunch of damage from Kubon, and we'll just be heading back to base. Not sure if he has the kill pressure though, doesn't have the ignite of course. We'll just push him out of lane and take a little bit longer to get back up there.
Yeah, Kubon, or Whirly B still got the experience from that camp though, so when he gets back into lane, he is still going to have a very similar advantage. And That is going to be teleport being down, though, that Whirly will not have. But again, he picks up a pink ward for that extra security in lane. So this top lane, we'll have to see how Kuban adjusts his play. He's already made the adjustment of heading in to try and prevent that start.
So we've touched on the Azir, the pick that we don't see all the time. But more importantly, take a look at Zayu. Sitting on that Elise, of course, we have seen a little bit of play, but it's mainly because we're now seeing those ranged junglers coming into the mix. And Zayu, before Eden 420 hit, he was a big player of Elise.
And I'm interested to see what Zayu's actually going to go for, as there's again aggression top.
Yeah, Kuban taking some damage. We saw this last game, but we know he's always going to be coming out ahead, has that range, has that very punishing laning phase.
Here's another question for Giants in this game. Does Frederick go mid as usual here? Because you have to feel like Take Fun is going to allow Pepinero to push in now because he hasn't got that flash. He cannot overextend, so it makes Frederick's ganks a little bit more difficult, but it looks like he wants to try it here. And you can see the distance that Take Fun has to stand back, and that amount of damage is already really punishing Take Fun. Frederick could be looking up to set up for a flash over the wall here. Take Fun's in trouble.
I don't think he even needs it. He will get hit by the charm, though. Remember, he has the ignite, so he has to make his way away from the turret. The turret aggro is going down, but onto Pepinero. First blood for Frederick.
That's about as an aggressive first gank as you'll see right behind the turret. It was read out by Take Fun. Good reactions to actually get that, but a hook in the bottom lane.
Rado again with the hook right into the flame chompers. Adri will be following up with that damage. Saliva comes in to try and body block for his support here, but that was a lot of damage onto Janna.
One of the problems down in this bottom lane is if Rydal continues to land those hooks, Libic does not have the sustain to keep Saliva healthy. And again, top lane.
Yeah, Kuban will be responding with his damage as Whirly B makes his way away. But now that we have had the first jungle item being picked up, Frederick is in a battle to the death with the Raptors, but it will be Pantheon winning. Zayu has picked up his first jungle item here, and we'll be seeing very quickly what Frederick will be bringing out. Kuban dropping low here in the top lane. Zayu comes in for the counter, but it will just be him going one-on-one. And in a prolonged fight, I'm not entirely sure who's going to come out ahead. Here comes the Cocoon, but the counter-strike will even up this 1v1 fight. Kuban has to come in. Whoa, with the boomerang, takes him out from long range. He was not expecting that.
Communication there out of Zayu and Kuban made sure that Kuban stayed in that lane. Other top laners would perhaps have backed away, but that was a pretty smart timed gank there. They looked like they were setting it up before Whirly B went aggressive, and a little bit on the fortunate side to pick that up, but maybe they've stayed too long because Frederick is here. He has his flash available. Does he read this? Kuban surely just gave the game away.
Oh, apparently not. Zayu makes his way away, but Kuban, there's the flash, there's the stun, there's the spear shot, and the one-on-one kill for Frederick.
Oh, Kuban, you were out safe if you'd have just recalled in the bush, but gave the game away. And now Frederick, 2-0 already, 5.5 minutes into the game. He's got his Stalker's Blade as well, and this game is starting out well for Giants.
Oh, a miracle hook coming in here from Rydal onto Libic, but it's not going to make too much of a difference as Adria is not able to put down the damage. And he'll have to back away here, taking a look at how that lane's going. Adria is still ahead in farm by a fair margin, has one wave up on Saliva, but Zayu is coming in down here to try and get something done.
Yes, he is indeed. But bottom lane, there's another...
the middle lane here, because Pepinero is here, so is Frederick landing that stun, but it's not enough. Now look at the bottom lane with Saliva coming out with a buckshot, gets the hook onto Libic, but won't get the pull in. And another 1-0 coming in for Reason Gaming this time.
And Reason, every time Giants are getting something, they're answering for now. And that is a question as to, or at least it's an answer to the question of can Reason adapt between the series. And Pepinero in this middle lane has his level 6. That will be a great kind of disengage tool here should Zayu look to go in. But he's pushing in to Take Fun a fair amount ever since that flash was burned early on. And they did punish that flash not being available. But Zayu will back away.
Yeah, so Pepinero, of course, did read that out. He has a lot of mobility, of course, using the shifting sands and the conquering sands with his soldiers. We have to swiftly make his way back to his turret. But Frederick now heading into this opposing jungle, getting down that pink ward, has found the crab and will most likely be taking that one away.
And Frederick, let's take a look because he's heading up towards top lane. No level 6 available, so this is going to have to be a manual gank up on Kubon if he's looking for it. But Kubon is about to run out of Mega Gnar form, and this is something they've done very well against this Gnar, is read the timings on that rage meter, and Kubon's actually going aggressive.
He will be using his ultimate and chases up with the dodge, but there's a counter strike, and Frederick looking for his stun. But with the hop away, he's able to get away from that gank.
Ooh, Frederick wasn't quite in position in time, but you can see the difference in damage and ability to take damage when out of Mega Gnar, and Reason have sent a lot of people mid lane right now. They really want to try and stop Pepinero.
Yeah, there was a wild Rydell heading up into the mid lane. They just sent 2 members to deal with that threat. In the top lane, though, again, they're just pushing up this turret, and now Lipic and just a convoy of players from Reason Gaming making their way up here will mean they'll have to take a step back and not take away this turret. Pepinero will be punishing Take Fun, though, shifting sand, but he's out of mana. Rydell throws down the lance and will be able to get back to his turret here as Take Fun uses the last of his mana to punish him with an Orb of Deception.
Both supports being around this middle lane makes this a very difficult engage. Here comes the Jinx ultimate, though. Is it going to land the mark?
From downtown, here's Lipic.
Not quite the person they were looking for there, but nevertheless, Frederick is going to take that added vision on knowing Lipic was around just to take blue.
Yeah, it was a scouting rocket.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to make sure you got vision on any targets.
Yeah. So Frederick now taking away this blue buff, didn't actually clear out those minions, so doesn't get the extra experience, but at this stage in the game, both level 6 and experience is not his main priority, just taking that one away from that scenario. And now Zayu is going to walk into his jungle and be pretty sad that his buff has been taken away. Frederick, however, is in pretty good shape.
Take Fun is going to be affected by that quite a lot. You're going to need the extra mana to throw out, obviously, Ahri's abilities, and there's already an advantage building up for Pepinero in this middle lane, and we haven't really seen one of those big Azir ultimates yet that we are expecting out of Pepinero. We know he's been practicing it. Not the last hitting aspect, but mid lane, here comes Frederick.
Mandrop is ready and comes down right on top of Take Fun. Here comes the stun, and Frederick as well with all the damage. Pepinero not only has the CS advantage, but now he has the kill advantage.
He does indeed. This could open up the dragon here, and you can see the Reason are already preempting that. The pings have gone down, and we know the Pantheon is good at clearing dragon, and with a member not there for Reason Gaming, this is a numbers advantage that they really could look for.
Rydell and Adri comes in from the bottom lane. All the members are here, plus Whirly B has the teleport if he needs it. Adri just throwing out a couple auto attacks. Zayu trying to get in range to try and smite away this dragon, but has to come down right on top of it. Here comes the ultimate, the super mega death rocket, a flash burn as well from Zayu. So just trades away the summoner and they get the dragon from Giants.
And this is a much earlier dragon than we saw in game 1. This is a full 10 minutes earlier than any team was able to take dragon last game, and that is a good sign for Giants. If they are ahead already with this scaling composition once again, Reason have got so much work to do. We talked about Elise and Ahri need to get these picks and then start getting Ahri roaming, but Take Fun has been set behind in this game from minute 1. Getting caught, burning flash, and not being able to survive in the lane is so tough for Take Fun.
And Zayu has just not been able to do too much to help him catch up. Limit though gets caught in the bottom lane by the death sentence. Adri won't be able to get in range. Here comes Zayu though. Speaking of that Spider Queen, throwing out the cocoon and the volatile spiderling, but again can't get anything done, and Giants maintain their lead of 500 gold.
It's interesting that Zayu has picked the Elise here, because we said he's Elise in main. He prefers those melee champions, and he's kind of swapped his playstyle up to range here on 421, and of course that does have its benefits in the jungle. In the clear, you get the stuns, but it's a lot harder to make work. The kill potential isn't as easily available as on a Lee Sin, and one player that doesn't really have a problem with kill potential right now is Frederick. He's looking for Kubon, but this could be a gank where the mana, where the rage bar has been really misread, because Kubon is about to transform. They have to wait for that to go before he can get up into that top lane.
Yeah, in the bottom lane though, Andrew taking some damage. Zayu comes in from the top side. Rydell was completely caught out. Teleport as well though. though from Whirly B. Make that another teleport from Kubon this time. Rydell should be taken out here by Celiva, gets dragged in closer, and the collateral damage makes sure of that. Both top laners decided to cancel their teleports.
Yeah, and it's more beneficial on that side for Giants because Whirly B was still in lane when he started teleporting, so he can get a lot more pushed into the turret right now, and with Frederick around, maybe they can look to gank Kubon, but another well-worked bottom lane play. This time Reason Gaming picked up the kill from it.
Kubon did head back to base and is now a little bit more tanky, but Frederick catches him on the way in, but maybe this was a little bit preemptive because Whirly B's nowhere to be seen, is only now getting in range, and Frederick doesn't have any more CC after using his stun and the chilling smite.
Yeah, it's maybe jumped the gun a little bit on that one. I think they could have got the kill there, but now they are under potentially a lot of trouble because Takefun is all the way up into top lane already. This is the roam perhaps the Reason needed.
Frederick is on his way out and he's gone. Where's he going to go? Back to turret. There he is.
Didn't even matter. Did use the ultimate though, so that means we're not going to see that Pepinero play with Frederick that we saw previously just a couple of minutes ago, but that's a cooldown use. That's the idea, though. Reason have to get Takefun into another lane. That's what they're looking for. Just that time, it didn't really work out.
They just need to get more than just an ultimate. They need summoners, and more importantly, they need kills, because Giants, not only were they last game, they were looking for that catalyst, but this time they're just winning straight up. They're just ahead in their lanes, and there's a 1,000 gold advantage in the middle lane alone. In fact, more than that for Pepinero.
Let's not forget, Giants did take the first dragon of the game as well, so that is extra power, but Zayu's heading up to top lane.
He is, and now he needs Kubon to do something, just like slamming Whirly B into the wall. Here comes a counter-strike, Wallop comes out, Zayu looking for that stun to come in as well, the chilling smite, venomous bite, and Kubon for the last auto attack secures the kill.
And that was what Reason needed again. They just need to shut Whirly B down. You've got to get him further back into the game. He's not even building Trinity Force as a first item on Jax. He's going for Blade of the Ruin King, which is actually going to make him fairly squishy, or at least Bilgewater. Now he's going for Triforce, but Zayu...
Oh, Emperor of the Sands coming into the top lane, will be punting him away with the Emperor's Divide, though. Kubon misses the top over the wall, has to use his flash instead. Frederick comes in and will be able to clean up the mess, but hello, Rydell just appears in the top lane as well, because why not? And just get the final charm onto Frederick, but a 2-0 for Giants.
Well, it looked like Pepinero had almost saved Zayu in that little engage, but for Reason getting something in top lane, now Giants have answered it back with another couple of kills, and they're going to establish, or at least attempt to establish, control over the topside jungle for Reason. Again, Charmer's landed. It's not going to be enough, though.
But Ari is not the one with Smite, and the person with Smite is dead. So currently they are trying to just zone them away, and Frederick is determined to take this one out. But Zayu is very close to coming into the top lane and trying to take this one away. But still, they are still contesting over this blue buff.
They are indeed. It's... Considering there's only one mid laner there, they really just wanted to deny the Ari. Flash!
Oh, the flash comes out. Another spear shot as well. Rydell trying to push away the enemy team. Will be getting the cocoon down. And is a caught fresh. Just needs one more bit of damage. And he has to juke back into them for the last kill for Kubon. Now 5-5 on the scoreboard. They take a little bit back, and they get their blue buff as well.
They do. We haven't really seen too much out of the bottom lane when it comes to Adri and Celiva so far in this game, and that is very similar to game one. We've seen everybody else around mid and top, and then 80 carries just sitting and farming, and again Celiva has the lead. This is the same as this last game. Graves into Jinx, Graves having the lead to begin, and I wonder whether that's going to be enough, because Adri, if you can catch them in the fog of war, but we are into game by the looks of it.
Yeah, so it wasn't a lot of issues, now has been sorted out, and we are back into game. 16 minutes into this game now, Dragon has respawned, and we are ready for these teams to try and contest this. The Crab is not having a good day, will be taken away by Adri, and Giants here will be getting that speed shrine, and of course the vision around the Dragon Pit. But take a look at Reason Gaming. They are not interested at all in even trying to deal with this dragon. There goes the second dragon of the game to Giants.
And it's an easy dragon, knowing that Zayu is over in the middle lane. They had him spotted right in front of his tower. So that is the second dragon of the game going over to Giants. Now that's a key one for this composition. A reminder that this now adds tower damage, or adds damage to towers, should I say, for Giants. And when you've got a Jinx, when you've got a Jax, and to, you know, some extent Azir, we've seen that Azir is actually fairly good when you're in those siege situations. Giants just became a lot stronger in these tower push situations.
They are, and as you can see in the mid lane, they just took that one away very easily. Kuban in the top lane, though, did take away the top turret, so they are still leading in those objectives. The Giants will be able to bounce back fairly soon, you have to feel. 700 gold advantage to them currently, and you can see that slightly reflected, mainly in the mid lane, by ex-Pepinero. He has around 900 gold in the bank, so he does have the ability to finish his death cap if he wants to.
Interesting to see how Kuban is building Na in this game. He did just pick up a Spectre's Cowl to go alongside the Giants Belt and Brutalizer, so no full completed item out of either top laner yet. So when they start completing those items, they're going to have large spikes in tankiness and damage, and that really is going to be potentially Reason's time to fight. But you have to feel they need to get Kuban a lot more involved in this game than he was in the last.
Yeah, so as we look forward to kind of the roaming phase, which we have now entered, the towers have gone down and we're clearly out of laning phase. They just need to be getting into fights, start brawling Giants, because otherwise they'll just keep farming and Pepinero will get stronger and stronger.
And speaking of Pepinero getting stronger and stronger, TakeFun is in a dire situation when it comes to his items. Needlessly Large Rod and a Fiendish Codex only to a 2-item Azir right now. That is a massive difference between the two, and honestly, that reduces a lot of Reason's potential to do anything here under this kind of push here out from Giants. They really just want to hammer home this mid lane.
Yep, and Giants are just doing that to the T. Just waiting really for someone to get caught. Of course, they do have the Thresh if they want to do that, but think back to Champion Select when we were looking at these compositions and what they were really aiming to do. Thrown a little bit off by the Azir, but Giants, in terms of their game plan, they have the Whirly Bee again on Jax for that split push, but what is their goal as we head into the next couple of minutes?
Their goal for the next couple of minutes is basically for Giants to push towers. That's going to be the name of the game always, and Reason need to get Kuban in the fight, and they actually need to potentially take a fight, which honestly, with TakeFun this low on damage, is not going to be easy. Look at the damage that Azir is doing to that turret already. And if you can't get Kuban into the fight with his rage, charged up already for the fight, then he's almost useless. You need the ultimate out of now.
Pepinero only needs to walk near the turret just to throw down his W onto the turrets. His Arise, which summons a soldier, can also be used on turrets and also damages them. And with that dragon buff, he can chunk through those pretty quickly, and all he has to do is walk up to them.
Yeah, and it's not to be underestimated how fast those towers will start falling, but you can see them already setting up.
Oh, has been caught out by the Cocoon. In comes TakeFun, and Zayu will be the one to pick up that kill. And Zayu was looking for more onto Andri as well. Lands the Chilling Smite, drags him over the wall, and the hook will only be landing on the Spiderlings. Frederick, here comes the collateral damage. Shut down for TakeFun, a 2-0.
You can't underestimate the burst potential that Reason have. The one charm, even though TakeFun is behind, is enough to just absolutely remove Pepinero as the rest of Reason just pile on, and now they're going to show that they can take towers themselves.
Just Jinx Rocket right onto Libic. This time he didn't have the health to survive it, so did home in on that one, picks up that kill. Middle lane do have the teleport now coming out from Kuban, coming in from behind. He is in Mega Form, but immediately with the Flame Chompers, it gets locked down. Hook comes through and just flies past Elisa's ear.
The Giants were looking to set up their own engage there at the tail end of the fight, but Kuban teleporting in, they knew he had Mega Na form already in progress, so they knew they couldn't really take that engage and backed out from that situation. Reason, however, is that enough to get them back into this series, because they're now ahead on gold. They are down 2 dragons, and that is not to be underestimated. There's a lot of stats that aren't shown in that gold total. So the fact of the matter is, Giants still have themselves a decent spot in this game.
They do, and what are they looking for here? Clearing out that crab will be getting that speed shrine as well. They're pinging now onto the Baron, and they have completely cleared this away from vision. With Adri in the bottom lane, there's no reason for Reason Gaming to think that their opponents are on Baron, and with Azir, they're taking away the dragon so quickly, or rather the Baron, I should say. 1,000 health remaining, and this is going to go right under the noses of Reason.
And this is very similar to a thing we saw yesterday in OGN, where SK Telecom saw their opponents down on a Raptor ward, and instantly went for the Baron that they had already cleared out. And that is exactly what happened there. Zayu showed himself alongside Libic, and I believe it was Take Fun on the lower side jungle. They know their clear on Baron is fast enough, and there's the ward over the wall. That's enough,
realization,
if they didn't already know it, that Baron has been taken by Giants, and they have a good composition for pushing towers. Now it just got infinitely stronger.
And with 15 seconds remaining on the Dragon timer as well, Giants were in a very good position to not only contest this, but run away from another fight. Rydell has been caught though, and Frederick was charging up his Grand Skyfall. Decides to cancel it though. Only 10 seconds on that, as he did decide to do so. But now Reason Gaming should be able to deny this next Dragon.
They should be able to take it for themselves, you would imagine, but the question is, how far ahead are Giants right now? Here comes the teleport out of Whirly B, looking to get to this fight. The question is, can Frederick get there?
Grand Skyfall once again. Oh, Kubo completely misses his ultimate, though. That's going to be a major factor. Giants have read that and will just be happily taking away the third Dragon now for themselves.
That is a massive blunder out of Reason. They start the Dragon back away and use a massive teamfight ultimate on no one. There was just no way that Gnarled should have been used. I wonder whether the stage and the pressure is getting to Kubon right now, because now Giants are in such a strong position. The question is, will they set the rest of their lanes up? Look how fast that tower died.
Literally disappeared, and the tower goes down, and here comes the Sun Disc from Pepperino as well, or Pepinero.
Deficio was talking about lane management.
Oh, Adri gets completely deleted. He goes down, and now they're looking to move on to the rest of the team. The Sun Disc will make sure that they had to deal with that first.
Well, lane management doesn't exactly matter if you go and get caught in front of a turret and get instantly blown up, but it was a key point that Deficio was talking about that is a very important factor for these kind of setups. You have to have all of the lanes pressuring to get the maximum effect, and you can't step forward like that, Adri. You're on Jinx, you don't have an escape, and your flash wasn't available.
And for all intents and purposes, Adri is Giants' siege machine. If he's down, then their tower pushing potential drops phenomenally, and it's really just Pepinero landing the rise damage onto the turrets after that. So they see the AD carry go down, and they back away. But on the flip side, great job by Reason Gaming. They've delayed the push by a good couple minutes.
Pepinero having a little bit of trouble with Wolves there. It's okay.
Yeah. He juked.
Yeah, juked out. But, you know, this Azir is a very different pick to what we normally see, or at least have seen before Azir was released, because Azir has featured quite prominently in multiple different tournaments, and it's kind of a player-dependent thing, because Azir is a very high skill cap champion, but Take Fun...
Where are you going to go? Have to flash away, but the hook doesn't land, and Frederick is still looking to come in. Does land the charm here, and gets blocked away with the auto-attack. Now he's kind of in the middle of no man's land as the rest of the team finally catches up, and that was a summoner burn. But now, with the Conquering Sands coming across, Pepinero putting down the hurt.
It's buying time for the bottom lane. There goes the turret for Adri. The siege machine in effect.
Oh, Pepinero has to jump over the wall. Will be landing another Conquering Sands. Whirly B comes in. Monsoon is not enough to push him away. Rydell as well with a huge play. Adri picks up one, and now it's cleanup time with the minigun going ham. But Pepinero is just picking up all the kills. In fact, it's Adri coming in here. Kubon slams Whirly B against the wall, but comes in with the wallop, but he's going to go down for the ace coming out here. The 2 for 5, the quadra for Adri.
Adri picking up the quadra kill, and it's all from Take Fun stepping forward with that ultimate. Did not have vision, didn't know that the rest of Giants were there, and the amount of damage that Giants have over Reason right now is so strong, and there is no way that Reason can take that kind of fight right now against Giants, who I believe the tail end of their Baron buff was just before that, so they're going to get turrets from this. They got a whole bunch of kills, and Giants are in such a good position right now to look to close out an inhibitor turret.
So 5,000 gold ahead here, have evened up the turret score as well, but as you mentioned, all those hidden stats in the forms of those 3 dragons that have come out for them is one of the major things heading in here, and pretty sure the crab should be running up and down. There we go.
But here's Take Fun's engage here. He dashes forward right into Frederick and instantly stunned up. Not even the disengage was enough to save them from there. Reason looked like they've turned this around. The burst that came out from Celiva was so good, but Adri joins the fight. From there, it's pretty much all she wrote, but we're back to live action here as Reason Gaming are getting rooted out of their own jungle.
Yeah, they did manage to briefly find Zayu and did have the chilling smite down on him. Was able to respond as well and get away from that predicament. Oh, I feel like we've seen this before,
Deja
Stress, but
vu.
this time it's right on top of him and just gets crushed by Adri's Super Mega Death Rocket, and that is their big damage dealer down for the count.
Fool me once, I think is what you could be saying here. That is just great synergy out of Giants. Same set play. They just line it up again, the ultimate, and this damage could just be enough here.
Oh, Adri comes in for the last auto attack and bleeds to death, 2-0, and they are pushing in and looking for the kill, going for the jugular. And Reason Gaming, what can they do to really stop this push?
There isn't all that much they can do here with 2 members still not available. This is, at a minimum, the Nexus turret's going down. They're going to need a big ultimate out of Kubon, but he's already dropping very low.
Kubon is nowhere near getting into Mega Form either. They do run out of minions, but Frederick looking to take Fun down again. He's only just come off the spawn pad. They are keeping him down. Pepinero still sieging up against his turret, and they haven't stopped the onslaught just yet.
Kubon needs more rage, but he's stepped forward.
Can they weather the storm? Kubon has to head back to his base, but this time he does have a fair chunk of rage in his meter. But now here comes the super minions. Willie B jumps in. Oh, the Super Mega Death Rocket again homes in onto the support of Living. Kubon pushes away Willie B though, takes down that big damage threat, but the second Nexus turret falls. They're trying to defend their Nexus turret at the same time, but Adri is just slamming down the damage onto this one. It goes down. They don't have enough damage to repel them from this.